implies that, like, you know, former Prime Minister of Israel Ehud Barak in 2016 was just visiting him because he's a chill guy.
He's a cool guy. Well,
Like,
yeah.
what the?
And he didn't know he was. He was just.
Yeah.
He loves math because, as we all know, Epstein, one of the great mathematicians of our time. And, you know, they were probably just talking about theorems and that kind of stuff.
Kid, two kid, No, I think with part of what I like, I was actually in a Hulu documentary about Victoria's Secret.
Oh, hell yeah.
And my like bit as a talking head was to like talk about Epstein's relationship with the guy who owned Victoria's Secret, Les Wexner. And how, like, essentially, like, part of what one of the angles that the documentary took, and that, you know, like, Epstein was the counterparty, like, he was partners with and had, you know, transacted huge, cumulatively, like, you know, seemingly, like, in the billions of dollars of transactions, and it's all really murky, but they're with people who are, like, Leon Black at Apollo, you know, a very powerful person in the world of private equity. Les Wexner, who was the head of these, the Limited, which owned Victoria's Secret and other stuff. And it's like, all right. So nobody's, like, really good at talking about or, like, understanding, like, the extent of, like, what his financial, like, activities were that, like, generated these things.
Yeah.
But he was just really good at trafficking kids for himself.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no connection there. That he had all this income.
Well, he's probably just a really good day trader. You know, he probably just was smart.
He was like probably early on E-Trade.
He was early on E-Trade.
He taught at Dalton, and he like met really smart bros there. It was like, hey, tips.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence that he trafficked hundreds, if not thousands, of children, and that he, at the same time, through a completely separate way, made millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, that's just...
If you have like thousands of individual victims that are like children and young adults and whatnot going in and out of your homes, okay, and you also simultaneously are constantly engaging with like some of the elite in society, at some point they're gonna see the kids.
Right.
Nothing adds up.
Yeah.
In this story. And I like the idea that they're just like trying to move away from this now. They're like, don't ask any questions. This is what I wanted to talk about, because yesterday people started getting really frustrated because they have tuned up their audiences to basically really care about this for understandable reasons. I think it's an important story. But now they're basically going, oh, well, we're in power, and also some of our faves are implicated.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
That's exactly right.
Well, I mean, I think ultimately though, it's not gonna. I wish it would matter. It doesn't fucking matter. They don't give a.
I think this might actually cause a little bit of fissure in the Trump base.
I mean, I don't think by itself it does, but I think it does indicate that, like, for example, like, look, like most people who voted for Donald Trump, like, they probably even like Israel or whatever. I don't think that they signed up for, like, endless blood funnel.
Sure.
And, like, the same goes for, like, they didn't sign, you know, like, they were, you know, like, they all fell for it in different ways, but, like, I don't think any of them individually are going to be, like, the thing that breaks the dam in any meaningful way. But, like, over time, like, especially, like, once Trump goes...
Once
like,
Trump goes, it's all...
Exactly. Like, it just shows how shallow this is.
Yeah,
that,
that's
like,
definitely
none of
true.
this... Like, the most durable thing is, like... it's like this guy's big victories.
Yeah.
You know, on vaccines. Like, it's like
Which
that...
they don't even really give
and
about.
you know, and molesting the money and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this clearly will... I mean, you're right, because this is the one thing that kind of kept the... This is the one thing that unites everyone. Because it's like QAnon, it's like anti-establishment, it's like, you know, whatever you want to say, everyone is... Anti-Semites, a big part of the base. It unites fucking everybody, but I agree with you. It might not be... It's not enough on its own. I just feel like... I don't know, man. We've seen it. Nothing stops this.
It is, but it is like, I think part of like what it breeds, which is like, you know, like Trump and right, and like all those people, like they rose in response to like incredibly cynical times. Mm-hmm. They themselves, like the cynicism that they then practice, is like having like the same effect on like the people who are like not politically of age yet, but who might otherwise be like raging conservative. Like to me, it's all just like part of like the gradual process of which, like, yeah, like an intellectually and like morally bankrupt thing, like, you know, burns itself out. On evil or whatever it is, you know. Like, I mean, to be reductive about it.
Felix has an alternative approach. Natalie Wynn, ContraPoint, says, people are really not familiar with the basic facts of the Epstein case. All the victims who testified at Maxwell's trial said they were trafficked to Epstein himself, who abused them with Maxwell's assistance. And Felix also doubles down and says, yup, Source of his wealth, he won the lottery every day. His extensive contacts in multiple governments, he met them randomly on Omegle. The internal JP Morgan emails, creepypasta.
Okay, so it's also like funny to like single out Ghislaine Maxwell there because like she radiates like a glow rod, like, you know, even more than he does in a lot of ways.
She's like a generational spy. Like she comes from like her father was the OSS. Like it's not like
Wait, she's in jail right now?
yeah. Also
Yeah.
innocent.
Free her. She's innocent.
Also innocent. Well, Trump. Remember when she went to jail? Trump.
Well, I
literally was
also
like,
remember
she's a fine lady. I've met her.
people forget about the interim period when like before like they arrested her or whatever when she was like in some random house
was
in
on
New
the road.
England.
Yeah,
with like
Yeah.
a younger like husband or partner who was some random like shipping company executive. It was all very. Life moves too fast sometimes, man.
Yeah.
This was like not that long ago, but it really does feel like a lifetime ago.
I know.
It's so bizarre.
And that story in particular, like, this is the thing that made me understand how boomers feel about JFK. Because, like, girl, you know, it's a fun conspiracy as a young person, but, like, I wasn't around for it. It doesn't mean as much to me. Like, it's watching the movies, it's fun. This is the thing where I'm like, he didn't kill himself, man. Like, I'm here. I know how the world works, and I totally. I'm like, yes, I will be talking about this and sounding insane to my children. And you know,
every media outlet is like, no, you don't understand. He was really sad.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't get it.
Well,
like,
it was the first time in his life he had gone even a couple days without f***ing a child.
Yeah.
And you don't know the toll that takes on.
I mean,
someone.
or it's like, look, like let's say he did kill himself. Like I've seen The Godfather.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen like Robert Duvall talk to Frank Pentangeli and be like, you know,
Yes.
just like the Romans.
Yeah.
Do like the Romans, Frank.
Yeah.
And it's like, like.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton came in
I
a
just
trench
the idea,
coat.
like to me, it's just like there's no, because it's like also like I've seen, it's like what it gets at to me that's even more important than like contesting the weird ass circumstances in which he died, which is that it's like there's all this like reported evidence about like him having him having like when they talk about the Epstein files, that's just like the right wing media people doing like their vague stupid people thing of like mushing together a bunch of real things into like this mythical like singular thing that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But there were a bunch of files in his house when they raided it. There was a bunch of information, a bunch of labeled tapes, things like that people have been reported about, that have been reported on, that
cool
have been
paintings.
sworn to. Yeah, some really awesome paintings of
Bill Clinton.
George W. Bush with Bill Clinton is the main one. People forget it. George Bush with the paper airplane. That's a good
also
one too.
like he was meeting with like
9/11?
He met with like Bill
Yeah.
Burns before he became director of the CIA. Like I don't know. I feel like there's like a very like I don't think people are wrong. Even though I guess now it feels like passé just because of like how much has happened.
But that's the thing. As someone who doesn't follow, I don't give a fuck that much. I don't follow this. I just know as a guy alive right now who was just in broad strokes following this. It's so clearly a conspiracy, and I will never let go of that shit.
They put him in the federal penitentiary with a roommate.
They tried him. Remember, they tried him like a week before.
Yeah, Nicholas Tartaglio. Who was like a corrupt cop who like executed a bunch of people, like roided out of his gills.
Yes.
So now we're doubting the integrity of law enforcement.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's where I got to stop you. I back the blue, Hassan.
Yeah.
Well, back Israel and back the blue. I'm doing full Hollywood.
It would be like, I do like the idea also of it's like, you know, like this guy, he's only like probably the most famous person who's been in like the federal system at the time of like their entry, like maybe, you know, in like
Kismet.
5 years, decades,
Kismet.
whatever. What if we just got him like a really good friend?
Yeah.
No, it was
like a really cool guy.
Total random happenstance that he was in the cell and then he tried to kill himself the first time.
Crazy thing.
Same by the way with Whitey Bulger.
Oh, really?
Who was like, was also killed in like weird circumstances, and it's
Wait, wasn't Whitey Bulger
He was on the
killed
lam
by
forever.
like a fucking QAnon guy or something? No, that was a different.
No, there was a mafia boss guy.
Yeah.
A
That
guy
was-
on Long Island got by a random QAnon.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Sucks.
I mean, sorry to the mafia.
Sorry to
out
the
there.
yeah.
But
sorry
prayers
to
up.
We're in the
Cosa
territory.
Nostra.
We're in the mafia
we were paying our
territory, right?
respects as well, but there was like kind of a comedy to like somebody being poisoned by the QAnon virus,
Yeah.
and was like, you know,
So
who I'm gonna
much-
go kill. like Polly's son.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wanna go pee real quick, but also I want to show Donald Trump's new response. This is very not like Donald Trump.
Okay.
And I think you'll notice really quickly when they ask him.
Ooh.
Amidst a totally separate meeting, Donald Trump gets asked about Jeffrey Epstein. Here's his response.
And released yesterday of Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the next step?
Yeah, sure. If
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second?
Oh, wow.
Are you still talking
takes
about
it.
Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have
Wow.
Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and you feel like answering?
I don't mind.
It's just like
answering
I'm like in my
can't
head, I'm
believe
mentally
Austin
like
was
fading in the
Epstein.
photo of that, the photo of like
yeah.
him and Melania and him and Ghislaine, like just like whoa.
It's insane. Like him attempting, like, what? That's old news. That's fuck. I kind of respect him being like, let's just get ahead of this. Here's how we're dealing with
You
this
know,
now.
I will say like he would like that's just
For sure.
like hand glove. Like
Yeah.
this is the most like like.
You're bringing it. Stop bringing up old shit.
Yeah, like
Literally
leave me
his
alone.
answer.
Look, we have all these dead girls. Like, hey, like, and stop. Don't ask me about the tariffs. Let's talk about the dead girls.
Incredible stuff, dude.
Lifetime TV ass president.
We
Yeah,
have
it
all.
sucks.
What do you say? We have all these taxes and stuff, and you still want. And he called them a creep. Was there more to this
A
bullshit?
creep.
Some of the greatest success and also tragedy.
Yes.
Right, Texas. Yeah, we're having some of the greatest sex and also
Texas.
tragedy.
It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox,
No.
and it's been getting a lot of
sure we
attention
get a different chair? I can
because
call
I said, I was asked a
Yeah,
question
he can have the
about
hotel staff
client list,
beaten for
and
not
my
having
response
the chairs.
was,
Well, could I sit on one of the
It's-
hotel staff?
Yeah, okay. You want me to call him up? Say no more.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I-
that's crazy.
I love the idea that Donald Trump, of all people, is like, I never talk about irrelevant things. Eyes on the prize, everybody.
dude.
Lock in. Like, this motherfucker will have, like, a leader of a foreign state sit there as he talks about how Joe Biden in his diapers.
Yeah, how good the fish fillet
about
is.
about whatever the is on his mind. But God forbid someone asks about Jeffrey Epstein. He's like, whoa, guys, bridge too far.
It's
okay.
I mean,
Also, by the way, like they're talking about it because the Justice Department just released a thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah,
his
yeah.
government just did a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
not
I don't.
irrelevant.
What I.
but that's why he's.
It's also. It's like. I mean, it's funny as. Like it can't be denied, and I don't think that he's doing himself any favors.
At the end, he spent